Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Hot Wheels Chat. If you've been looking for a place on YouTube where a collector unboxes and shows off his collection so you don't have to, you've come to the right place. Today on the bench is number 89 of the Hot Wheels Team Transport collection, which is a Mercedes Benz 300 SLR and its Team Transport, which I have no ability to pronounce, so I won't even try. Let's go ahead and get one of these unboxed and go from there. Okay, we got this thing unboxed. Let's give it a look. We're going to dive into the history of this a little bit as well because it's pretty amazing. This was developed for between 1951 and 1954. It is the big brother to the Mercedes Benz 300 SL gull wing. Obviously, this wouldn't have gull wings because it doesn't have a roof. This is the SLR. And I'm going to take it off the truck and talk to the Team Transport as much as I do the car. This thing is absolutely amazing, and I'll have pictures within this video interspersed of this overall. But the attention to detail is just amazing. You're going to see here, hopefully, spare tires are shown here. It's great top. And this is the real transport for this vehicle. This isn't something they just trained up at Hot Wheels. You also see the additional spare tires here. Let's bring it to the back. I can't get over this. Seeing these in black and white photos, doing the research on this particular Team Transport just doesn't do it justice. Actually getting to see this in person and seeing how such a good job Mercedes did in bringing this together. I'll zoom in on the silver arrow on the front. I think overall they've done a great casting job. This would be one of those things where if you wanted to go to the next level to make a custom, even more detailed than what's here, this would be a great start. I could really see this based on the space available that you could make this into an LED car where you could give it headlights, you could give it taillights, and it would be really interesting. I'm going to flip it over. I won't use my foam thumb for that because I'll end up flipping it into the background. It's a 3-rivet design, so they've made this really sturdy, and they've made it just such a straightforward vehicle because it's striking all on its own. You don't have to do a lot with it. So the tampos really does match what you see in the 1950s photos of this car. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way now and talk about this. So the 1955 Mercedes Benz 300 SLR was a champion at endurance racing. I love watching the endurance racing of today, and it's unbelievable what those cars are able to do. So imagine back in the 50s. So this has got a steel tubular frame. It's got a 3-liter V8 engine in it, and overall it only weighs 1,900 kilos, which I use imperial units. So I think that's around like 3,800 pounds, a little bit more than that. I'm not good with the metric system, but I know it's 2.2 pounds per kilo. So you do the math if you so choose. I'm going to bring the camera up and over so you guys can see the interior a little bit better, because I think, and I'm going to zoom in for you guys, because my goodness, they've done a great job with this of being able to represent something that is really hard to do at this scale, which is those seats are perforated. Those are actual holes to allow for ventilation for the driver. Because even with an open cockpit like this, it's still going to get warm because of that motor and everything else. So having those holes in the seat allow for airflow that they wouldn't get normally. Go ahead and kind of bring this around and show this. Just such great tampos. One of the things that they don't really reflect in this, which I think is really cool, is because of the races that they were at, and the need to be able to take some of the pressure off of the brakes that are on the wheels, is they designed and implemented a hydraulically pumped air brake that would allow for a 0.7 meter piece of aluminum to pop up and to help slow the car down, which it did quite well. One of the other things that they also did, which again, you wouldn't be able to see it in something on this scale, but it would be really cool to see how this works, is they developed what they called anti-lock braking. So what they called anti-lock braking back in the early 50s was not a system that would pulse the brakes to ensure that the wheels didn't lock up. They pumped very small amounts of oil onto the brake rotors so that you would not have the brake pads at overheating lock onto the brakes. That's ingenious, but also sounds terrifying at the same time. So I think it's interesting that they were able to do that. Let me go ahead and bring the camera back down and keep going from there. So what I think is so cool is that, you know, for the age of these cars, that Hot Wheels, you know, this is a 1955. I'm 55. You know, I was born in 1970, you know, put that knowledge out there. And to sit there and think about 1955, so 15 years before I was born, I mean, just unbelievable, you know, what this type of technology reflects. But it also shows that Hot Wheels wants to bring this type of history forward for new collectors, whether it's a 55-year-old like me, or, you know, somebody buys this for, you know, their child who is starting to collect and starts to understand how cool some of these things are. It really brings forward, you know, these historic race teams and these team transports. I think it's a really cool thing. So this is again, the 1955 Mercedes Benz SL 300 SLR with the Mercedes Benz Ren Transporter. I'll try it. I don't know if that's correct. If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments if I was right or wrong. What do you think about Hot Wheels doing these much older castings in terms of teams from the early 50s, early 60s, as you've seen on my channel? I just think it's awesome because the historical aspect of these cars just can't be denied. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and please subscribe. It really helps me out. And everybody, one last opportunity to see them both together. Have a great rest of your day.